all winter.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order. Commissioner Gates, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First item on the agenda is to approve our agenda.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dennert, second by Weiss. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next, we'll open the meeting up for any public comments. Anyone wish to address the commission this morning? Morning, Dennis.
Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I think you folks all know what's been happening out in Pierre as far as the pipeline is concerned, and it's no secret that hasn't been going real well. And but anyway, a bill that'll be coming up either Thursday or Tuesday, and that'll be scheduled today, and that's 201. And that bill, basically, it's a compromise bill, and my thought, and I think as well as probably most people, you don't compromise freedom, and you don't compromise private property, and Section 16 in this bill will literally gut the county's opportunity to have any control of what the setbacks are going to be on pipelines, wind towers, solar panels. And so I guess what I am hoping is that, for sure, I hope, Drew, I hope you can make it out and testify, and I'm encouraging the rest of the commission, if possible, to come out to Pierre when this bill gets scheduled and stick up for the local people. I mean, for our family, the Teichert family has been involved in local government for over 60 years. When you look through the whole entire history and you go back to the late 1960s and early 70s when Frank Farrar was governor, they actually put together the planning districts, which were to help the counties do ordinances. And so here we are now, many years later, trying to gut the counties out. So anyway, I hope you guys get in the vehicle, get the bus. And
what is the bill?
201. But anyway, read Section 16. That's the one that really hits it. So,
Right.
And I know you're concerned. Just come on down. And I mean, every other bill, I mean, there's probably been, 8 or 10 of them, they've had no on every solitary one of them. It doesn't make any difference which one you look at. I hope they vote no on this one too.
Hope they're consistent, yes.
Any other questions?
No.
Thank you.
Thanks for staying on top of it, Dennis.
Yeah.
Anyone else wish to address the commission this morning? In person, out there online, or on the phone? Seeing none, we'll move on. First reading of ordinance 266.
Ordinance 266, an ordinance amending Title IV, Second Revision, Brown County Ordinances as amended to rezone certain described property, filed by Alvin and Nancy Hagan, to go from mini ag district to lakefront residential.
Okay, this is first reading. Is there anyone here to speak to ordinance 266 before we pass first reading? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Move. Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, Brown County Fair Foundation, President Laura Seiftis with an annual report. Good morning, Laura.
Good morning, Chairman. Good morning.
Good morning.
2023 was a busy year for the foundation. We added a few members. We're up to 13 members of our current board. Myself and Chad Locken were just appointed president and vice president, our treasurer and secretary stayed the same for this next year. We put together a playground set out there and installed it in 2023, dedicated it, permanent structure that will stay out there. We sold 50 benches since we've started, not all in 2023, but since we started, we've sold 50 benches where people can put their names on it, memoriam, whatever they want to help raise money for the foundation. We've only sold 5 picnic tables. but that's a person's preference. It's a dollar amount, they're a little higher. Last year we did 62 parking lot signs. They were the ones that were in the parking lots that helped denote what lane you were in, and we really thought that brought the level up a little bit. To look, when you go to other fairs, you see that a lot, and a lot of times it's permanent structures. Ours are not. We'll take them down, which is okay. Just recently, we put together a livestock committee. They just had their meeting the 12th of February. So I don't have anything to report on that because that just is happening. But their purpose is to look at our buildings and really kind of put the livestock focus on them. What's wrong with them? What can we do to make them better? Where is our focus? Where should it go with our money then? When they come back and say, hey, we could use X amount to have a new door, a new fence, a new something. We just needed somebody out there that could give us a little bit better idea. You know, we often walk around and look at a building and see the it's rusted or it's this or it's that, but to really look at the livestock aspect. A couple of other things we're doing is we have our Hall of Fame banquet. It's on March 23rd coming up. With those inductees, we'll have 32 inductees into our Hall of Fame so far. We have also, different ways we've raised money is we've had the Dwarfenators. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what that was. Last year they came, and we, as a foundation, we sold the food and beverage at that event for a fundraiser for ourselves. And then our next one, they're coming back in August. And then our next one is the Your Town concert out at the fairgrounds, out at the Expo building. Tracy Bird is the headline for that. And again, we have been asked to come and serve the beverage and food again at that event as a fundraiser for the foundation.
And that's thanks to you guys for putting the policy in that we have first right of refusal on new events out at the fairgrounds. So thank you guys for doing that. I'm just going to run through some financials real quick with you guys. You got kind of overloaded here. I'm going to start with the balance sheet. Find that one, that's the smallest one. Currently we got about $82,000 in our account. We started this not quite 2 years ago. And then we also have a little bit of assets out there. We built some picnic table racks. Even though we only sold 5 picnic tables, we've added over 40 pop-up picnic tables out there. We just haven't gotten nameplates sold to people, so that's come from foundation. And so we had to put some racks, build some racks in order to store those, and we did that last year. We bought a storage container just so we can store some of our benches and that type of stuff outside of county property. So those assets are the only assets that we have. So as you can see, we have $89,000 of total raised and kept money. Now if you go to the opposite side, you'll see what we did last year. Our net savings last year is about $55,000, $54,185. As you can see up top, our Hall of Fame banquet was a huge success last year. We made about $20,000 on that. We also did the Dwarfenators. We are planning on doing those other events this year. We're trying to raise money in every way we possibly can, not just asking people. As you remember, the reason this thing was started is that we looked around and the county has no funds or not enough funds to really fix everything that needs to be fixed out there. And so we're trying to figure out a way to generate more income outside of county general funds to help improve stuff. We did the playground set as kind of our initial kickoff. I think that's been a nice addition, not only Fair Week, but year-round. You drive by there when it's nice out, there'll be kids out there playing on that playground set, so I think that's been a real nice addition out there. The buildings, we know you guys are looking to do something with the roof of the Expo building today, but we also have a Home Arts building that's falling apart. The clubhouse is in need of some attention. The grandstand's going to be needing attention in the near future, and we got bathroom issues. And so what we're doing is we're just trying to figure out ways that we can raise money. If you look at the other one, that is from our beginning, our inception to date, and still $89,000 is what our total savings has been. But as you see some expenditures there, $35,000 for that play set, and then we just have some cost of doing business, buying some bench supplies and that type of stuff. In July, we will be donating another 350 chairs. They'll be hard folding chairs, plastic folding chairs, that look a little bit nicer than the metal ones. The person donating those to the foundation has a couple weddings this summer that they're gonna use them for, but then that will be coming to the foundation, so the fair will be able to use those on a yearly basis as well. So that's kind of our financials. Like we said a year ago, we plan on doing this every year just to kind of keep you guys up to date where we're at, and some different things that the fair board has come to us with is curtains, possibly doing something, acting something there, so we don't have to rent the ones out of town and pay other entities for curtains and have to drive up to get them and that type of stuff. So those are some things that are on our docket.
All right, very good. Does anyone have any questions for Jeff or Laura?
I appreciate all the effort that you guys are putting in, both for fundraising and building momentum for the foundation, making it something that people are aware of, they can get behind, they can get, you know, the biggest opportunity here, and it's going to take some time, but this is a really good start for people to consider about long-term endowments, to make some significant contributions, to make some really, you know, at some point in time, some big improvements into the fairgrounds. The fair and all the other activities are so popular, and, you know, from my perspective, I tell people with all the other things that we deal with, the fairgrounds and the fair is kind of the fun thing, the quality of life kind of thing, that the county has an opportunity to be a part of the community through all of the efforts of all the volunteers, and you guys are an incredible representation of that, you know, that put on the events and do all the planning and everything that goes on behind the scenes to do the quality of life things that get done, you know, on the fairgrounds, as well as, you know, how important it is for us to be able to support and showcase, you know, our ag economy and our future. So, you know, I really appreciate what you guys are doing. It's something that I wished had happened a long time ago, but you guys have really taken the bull by the horns, and you're doing a fantastic job, and I personally, on behalf of the community, really appreciate that. I want you to know that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, any other questions, comments? Full disclosure, I do sit on the foundation board, so I'm a member of that group, and it's a great bunch of people to work with, very hardworking, dedicated, and committed to the future of the fairgrounds. So thank you to all of you.
Thank you.
Doing good things. Thanks.
All right, next you have a request for alcohol license.
Yes, we, again, what we're trying to do all the time is raise money, find money, get money, you know, in any way that we can, in a meaningful way, or making, I mean, you can ask everybody for $5, but we're not going to get very far very quickly. So one of the things we thought of is doing, selling alcohol, hard liquor at the rodeo, 2 nights of the rodeo. Is all it would be. So Monday and Tuesday, it's a smaller crowd those nights. We would not have a full bar. It would be a very simple option. So we're not going to have a big full bar. We just have the heavy hitters that people are requesting. I know that the fair has lost sponsorship with Pendleton, which is I believe a type of whiskey. Don't even, yeah. And that they would maybe potentially come back if they could, because they're sponsoring them right now, but they don't have any representation there, and so that's why they're pulling out. Alcohol is already served on the premise that night. It's in the VIP tent across, you know, on the other side. This would be on the east side of the building, on the east, not east side of the building, east side of the rodeo grounds there. The Brown County Fair Board, we've already gone to them, and they unanimously gave us our blessing to go ahead and keep pursuing this idea. We've already talked about insurance and liability, bartenders. We've got a volunteer base that we would use for these 2 nights. So we've done this with the Dwarfenators. We'll do it again here at the end of March with that concert. So now we're looking for, your blessing to come back and continue with our fundraising efforts during the fair.
What kind of time frame are you looking at serving?
Roughly, when doors open, around 6 o'clock, and then until the last event, kind of like a normal time frame of, you know, when they usually shut down.
Cut off right before bull riding starts. That's what we were looking at. We were looking at doing it, there is the corporate tent area, just to the east of the grandstand. We would take just a corner of that and serve over the fence, real close to the trough, if you're familiar with the trough out there. And then we would set up on the one side and serve over the fence. Of course, have people doing the carting and the handling our own money and that type of stuff all right there. But we would stay out of the grandstand itself, to try not to inconvenience Boys and Girls Club as far as their space.
So have you guys got like an estimated revenue? Doing any research on this, I know being a first time, it's kind of a little bit of a shot in the dark. I'm just kind of
Surely a
curious.
shot in the dark, yeah.
With anything like this, there's going to be, you know, a cost and a benefit, and that's kind of what I'm trying to weigh is what the potential revenue is likely to be.
To kind of give you an idea, on Dorfinators, they sold roughly 400 tickets, and we made about $5,000. And so, obviously, we're not the sole alcohol provider. A lot of people prefer beer, and they're going to buy their beer. This would just be for those people that don't like to drink beer to have another option. So, if you figure 500 people of the 3,500 that are there are going to drink, you're going to have higher margins on alcohol than you do beer.
Right.
So I would think we'd probably make somewhere between $5,000 and $10,000 a night, is what I would assume. I mean, I'm not saying that's what it's going to be, Drew, but
Yeah, it's
just a ballpark. I would suspect that we can make, you know, between $10,000 and $20,000 for the foundation in 2 nights, which is a lot of money for us. As you can see, we've been at it a year and a half, and we've had total about $140,000 in 2 years. So if we could have a $40,000 2-day event, that would be a big benefit for us. And ultimately to the county.
Any other questions? Comments by anyone? Mr. Herman, would you like to add anything at all?
No, obviously, I'm just here representing the Boys and Girls Club, and we've talked with the executive committee a little bit, haven't had a board meeting, but obviously, it's the concern that they'll be competing against us, so I'm assuming we'll have lost revenue, which means lost revenue that we pay into the county as well. So I'm just here listening and figuring out what's gonna happen, and
So at the last Fair Board meeting, it was asked and kind of unanimously agreed that it was a good idea to proceed with at least the discussion.
Yes.
It wasn't, talked about extensively, but it was kind of blessed, I guess would be a good way to put it. Would you guys be opposed if we would delay this by a week and talk to the Fair Board tomorrow night at that meeting and kind of maybe have a longer discussion? I mean, not that it needs to be hashed out for an hour, but maybe just kind of...
No, I don't think that's unfair at all. We're just bringing it to your attention now, hoping to get an answer soon. Obviously, like anything, when you're dealing with volunteers, the earlier you know, the easier it is to get them.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind visiting with the Fair Board as a whole and maybe a few other people in the community.
Absolutely.
Is that a motion to
Sure, yeah,
postpone?
that can be a motion.
Okay, we have a motion to postpone the decision on the Fair Foundation alcohol license for a week. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Weiss. Any further discussion? It's not that we're not in support, we just want to make sure we thoroughly research it and get some answers, potential answers to some questions, so. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much.
bringing it forward.
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for coming in this morning.
Okay, we have an application here for the special event alcohol license for the Fair Foundation. So, to follow suit, I think it would be appropriate to postpone that for a week since we're gonna hold off. Want a separate motion for that? Okay. All right. Next up, I, Megan John Flory, Highway Operations Supervisor, opening of micro surfacing bid. Morning, John. Morning, Mike.
Morning.
How are ya?
Hello.
All right. Dirk sent somebody that knows what's going on this morning, huh?
That's why we got Mike.
That's kind of a stretch.
No pressure.
Yeah, really.
I can hear you.
We don't care.
Mute yourself.
So, we're here to...
Better looking too.
Good morning.
Morning.
Mike Gutenkauf and Troy Nelson with IMAG here to assist with opening bids on the microsurfacing project.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. Got a engineer's estimate of approximately 1.6 million. And we'll see.
Be careful.
Never know. We have a bid here from Aztec, St. Cloud, Minnesota. Troy, just in case. We have a bid in the amount of $1,583,750.60.
Wonder if they do bridges.
I heard. Here we have a bid from ASCO in Sioux Falls, ASCO. We have a bid in the amount of $1,638,476.99. Looks like we got one more. And this is from Missouri Petroleum. Is that St. Louis? We have a bid from Missouri Petroleum in the amount of $1,665,564.70. So we propose to check the math on these and see how it works out. That'll take us 15 minutes or something like that, and check back in if that's all right.
That works for us.
Okay?
Hey, Mike,
Yes, sir.
are you familiar with the second bidder there?
With ASCO? Yes,
Yeah.
I believe, they are Troy's probably more familiar, but...
I think they did a micro-surfacing job for Lincoln County, I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, but they're out of Sioux Falls.
I think they're a child of one of the larger asphalt paving outfits in Sioux Falls.
Like a spin-off deal, kinda?
Yeah, I believe so, and I am not terribly familiar with that company.
but I've heard of them before. They're a big outfit.
So, as you read them, Aztec's the low, right?
Yep. As read, yep. We'll check the math, and
So,
hopefully it'll work out.
I would recommend warning to them, unless there's a math error. There's someone we're familiar with, they did our project 2 years ago, and, I mean, they're, as far as, somebody kind of around here that's done, immense amount of this work, they're good. Now, I don't know the ASCO at all, and of course, we've had Missouri Petroleum too, and they were good too. Troy, I think, weren't you with them down on the project they did?
Yep.
So, I have no problem with either one of them, so it makes it kinda easy when Aztec is read low like that. If there's not a math error, I would recommend awarding to them.
Thank you, Dirk. All right, you'll review and get back to us?
Yep.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
See you soon.
Hey, Dwayne?
Yes, Dirk?
I better hand it to you that way, don't you?
I gotta get, if that's okay?
What's that?
I gotta get going, so I'm gonna sign out of the meeting.
Okay, we'll let you know our decision.
Perfect.
All right, thank you, good luck today. All right, next up, Rachel Kipley, Fairgrounds Parks Manager, Award Expo Roof Bid. Morning, Rachel.
Good morning, guys. You had the two bids that you opened a week ago, one from MLC Construction, $858,820, one from North Central Steel Systems for $585,654. Dean and I had met over the phone with Kurt to make some inquiries onto like some of the questions, and I know one of the things he had not given you was what that flashing would cost, and I know that was a big deal when I first started talking about this project, is what we're gonna do where those buildings butt up against each other. So that's something we can talk about, because it is not included in here. $7,800 is what he would guess that it would be, but he said until he gets into that project to see the extent of what that looks like, that he wouldn't guarantee any of that. But based on the two bids that you guys opened a week ago, and I think you guys have had some discussions with them as well with questions, I guess I would recommend the lower bid.
North Central Steel, $585,654. All right, anybody have any questions, comments? Anybody heard anything, done any research this last week? Have any new information? If not, thank you for going over those numbers, you and Dean. And based on the recommendation, I would entertain a motion to accept the North Central Steel bid.
Move. Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Denner. Is there any further discussion? Hopefully that flashing issue gets resolved and we can figure out the best way to fix that problem continuously had. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
All right, we'll work on that contract in the next 10 days. I think it specifies and bring it to you.
Very good, thanks, Rachel.
One other side note, this is not on the agenda. We had it a last minute. Senate Bill 32 will be in committee tomorrow morning, and I was asked to come down there, so I know you sometimes approve these after the fact, but if there's concerns about me going, please call me.
Okay.
Otherwise, here's my deal.
That's the fairgrounds one?
Yes.
Perfect.
Good luck.
Good luck, yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yep, make it happen.
All right, approve and authorize chairman to sign the following address to the landfill. Contract with Houston Engineering. Morning, Mike.
Good morning.
I'll let you go through the list.
Yep, our annual contract with Houston Engineering. The biggest difference this year with previous years is we've got a, let me just look at it's an NMLC, it's a non-methane organic compound air sampling process that we need to do every 5 years, and that's due this year. That's a Subtitle D requirement. So that's about $33,000 on top of what our normal annual fee is with Houston Engineering. So that's part of that contract with Houston this year.
Yeah.
So that bumps that up close to $100,000.
That's every 5 years, that
Yep,
requirement's
that
there?
requirement's every 5 years.
Okay.
And the other two things on the list for approval were the certification report and area emissions inventory. Those are just standard state required reports that we've gotta send in, they just need your signature.
And those are annual?
Yep.
Okay. Lynn, do you want a separate, motion for each one of these? Okay. All right, the, contract with Houston Engineering.
Move.
Motion by Weiss.
Second.
Second by Gage. Any further, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, 2023 Annual Compliance Certification Report.
Move. Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. 2023 Operational Report Air Emission Inventory Document.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dennert, second by Gage. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Mike.
That's all I got.
Anything else? All right.
That'll do it.
We'll
Any
get those signed.
change in the schedule for the scale? Still on track?
Still on track for this spring,
Okay.
so, with the weather the way it is, it'd be nice if they get started on it sooner than later.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's about a $175,000 price tag on that, so, hopefully we can get it done soon.
Very good.
So-
Just curious.
Yep.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Commissioner
Thank
Gage,
you.
did you have something? Oh, okay. Okay. Mike?
Report from the math department, it all checks out.
All checks out. All right. Based on that, we'll revert back to that. The recommendation of IMEG and also of Dirk was that we go with the Aztec Company. Who did? Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Dennert. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mike.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time, effort. All right, next up, approve and authorize chairman to sign inmate housing agreement with the Sisseton Wapton Iowa Tribe. It's in the packet. Rate is the same as we have with other jails in the area.
Move. Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Moving on to the consent calendar.
Approval of the journal meeting minutes of February 6th.
Move.
Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claims and payroll.
Move. Second.
Motion by Dennert, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
HR report.
Move. Second.
Motion by Weiss, second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Travel request.
Move. Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Leases.
Move. Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Claim assignment.
Move. Second.
Motion by Feldheim, second by Weiss. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Authorize advertising and set the date for bid opening for landfill waste tire removal and wood waste grinding.
Move. Second.
Motion by Weiss, second by Dennert. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And bridge inspection resolution.
Move.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Feldheim. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Any other business to come before the Brown County Commission this morning? We've had a request to go into executive session for HR. We have no legal representation. Ross is out of the office and Carly's tied up in court.
Move.
So we have a motion by Weiss to go into executive session, second by Gage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Lights back on, we're out of exec, no action as a result. Is there anything else we needed to work on or discuss today?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Weiss,
Second.
second by Dennert to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are adjourned.